Welcome to a very special episode of NBL Now, all thanks to Code Sports. For some catching up with the milestone man, Nathan Sobey. I know you're probably thinking, geez, I'm old, but how does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about it too much. But yeah, when you say it, it's kind of like one of those things that you've been around for a while, but at the same time, you probably, once it's time to reflect and whatnot, it's something that you'll be pretty proud of looking back at.
You're still so early in this NBL season, but you're still playing at such a tremendously high level after so many games. How do you feel right now, and how are you managing to do that? Because we see a lot of guys when they approach 34, 35 years old, maybe they lose a bit of speed, they lose a bit of agility. You haven't lost any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that first and foremost. But yeah, I mean, just continuing to try and get better each and every day and continuing to work on my body and do whatever I can to kind of give myself those little 1%ers that can add up over time. And I'll continue to do that and keep riding it out and see how I keep feeling. But right now I feel pretty good and in a good spot for us to kind of start a running and get going for this season.
Another year here in Southeast Melbourne. What's been the most enjoyable part about moving down here and really embracing, obviously, the community, everything about being back in Victoria, but also understanding that this team and the journey this club is still on as a relatively new franchise in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being back in Victoria, like you said, is special. I'm back around family and friends. My kids are all settled in now. I got them in school and stuff like that. So it's good being around family and friends that I haven't been around for a long period of time since before I went to college, pretty much. So yeah, it's good to be back around that, but also, like you said, young team, especially this year, we got a pretty fresh group. Just trying to lead them in the best way I can and try and give us a good, I guess, start to the season so we can continue to build on what we're trying to do.
Looking back to game one, season one, and as a rookie, what do you remember about the Nathan Sobey back then?
Jeez, I haven't even thought about that. It's something. What would even be in the first game? I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's a hard one. I can't even remember the first game. It's a while ago now, but yeah, I mean, it was in Cairns, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I just a young fella trying to make it, trying to get better like I still am today. Just trying to push myself, competitive. But yeah, I mean, if you look back now, times have changed a lot since then. But yeah, I'm pretty. As you have time to reflect over the years and stuff, the growth that you see yourself is something that you continue to look on, continue to try and build on. And that's something, especially when I finish my career, I'll continue to look back on even more.
We've never had the Australian game with so many eyes on it. Obviously, the presence of social media helps that. But the route that you took to land in the NBL, initially, how hard you worked to get there, is there any part of you that sits and looks at the youngsters, even your teammates now, thinking like, man, you guys have it a lot easier than I had it back then?
Yeah, I try not to be one of those old heads that says, oh, I'm back in my day sort of thing, but it is kind of like that. I did go a different route, but I think if it was any other route, I don't think I'd be able to continue to get to where I am now. So it's pushed me to get to where I am, continued to push me to get better, and yeah, I mean, I'm very thankful for the route that I took in the end to continue to try and evolve into what I'm trying to do.
What are some of those early challenges where you can look back now and understand, you know what, I'm glad I went through that. It was really tough at the time because it helped make me who I am as a player, but also now the leadership as it's grown these last few years in particular.
Yeah, I mean, I think firstly it pushed me to just drive to get better and better because I always thought that I was kind of like on that fringe of not being good enough kind of thing. Early days to make teams, to make... especially earlier to even crack the NBL. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just like, it pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to where it's still a chip that you kind of carry throughout your whole career that you're trying to get better and better, which I am to this day. And I think that's something it's part of who I am that I'll continue to try and push that forward.
It's pretty crazy to think about all those. You talk about trying to make it in the NBL, trying to land on a team, and trying to solidify yourself as that NBL prospect, to being an MVP finalist, to making an Olympic team. How long do you think, once it's all said and done, will you actually be able to sit back and reflect on it? Because it's been an incredible journey. There's very few who get to experience, again, the highs and the lows. You need to experience both. But the way that you've done it your way, and it's been tremendous to watch.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really know the answer to that question. But yeah, it'll be something that I will reflect on when I'm done. But I don't really spend a whole amount of time trying to reflect right now. There's always what's forward and what I'm trying to push to and what I'm trying to help the team to do right now. But yeah, there will be a time where I sit back with the kids a little bit older and kind of reflect a little bit. But right now, it's about what I'm trying to do moving forward.
Making that Olympics and reflecting on that, it's going to come around every time there's an Olympics now and you've got a medal to represent history. I feel like any time someone brings it up, it's never going to get old.
Yeah, I mean, fortunate enough to be part of that group and same thing, what I had to do to try and make that team and kind of get to that environment. But yeah, it's one of those things that you'll never take away from the group and Australian basketball. So anytime it's mentioned, it puts a smile on your face and brings back some pretty fun memories that we got to kind of enjoy over that little journey.
What do you wish you knew now as a rookie? Because again, we see a lot of rookies, you've been teammates with some young guys. I mean, Owen Foxwell's so early in his career and they probably come looking for some sort of advice in their own ways, I'm sure. But what do you wish, Nathan Sobey, as the rookie just trying to make it in the NBL?
For me, I think it would just be enjoy the little steps along the way. Obviously, I enjoy the process, but so driven to try and get to where I need to get to and want to get to, you kind of don't. When you do something, you move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's about kind of back then, it would have been a little bit better to be like, all right, that's a step you made. Like, good job. Like, have a little reflect on that. You've done well to get to where you get to, and then it's like, what's next? But at the end of the day, it's kind of like that's probably led me to get to where I am right now. But at the same time, it's one of those things you want to enjoy the process along the way, and kind of enjoy those little steps.
So what keeps you going now, 350 games later, to continue to play at the level you are?
Yeah, I mean, my family and friends are pretty much the main thing, and just continuing to build relationships with people and build players to try and want to get better. I'm a competitive guy, and when you see it on the floor, it's about how I can challenge my teammates to get better and with whatever that takes. But yeah, I've got young kids now that love coming to the game and being able to run around on the floor after the game and stuff. So being able to take them through the journey and the ride is something special, and I love.
The competitive side of you on the floor, for those who got to see your journey throughout, the way you played and the emotion you played with, learning to control that in the way that you have as a leader and as to be the best player, to be like the MVP finalist, to be an Olympian. How did you do that? Or was that something that came over the course? Because you don't want to lose that completely because it's what drives you, it's what makes you as good as you are. But understanding, how do I get this the best out of myself?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that you kind of, like I said, you're driven so hard when you're younger that you're just trying to make it and you're trying to get to like levels that you want to get to, and kind of that sort of emotion gets poured out in the way you play. And I think it kind of is a balance between you get older and you kind of understand where you've been and you understand the environments you're in a little bit better, and you adapt to it a little bit easier, and you're more comfortable with those moments. So I think there's a little bit of a combination of both, but also I think it's about trying to evolve as a player and a person, as a basketball person along the journey, and I think that's all part of it.
When you get a chance, I'm not sure if you've done it yet, but to take the kids back to where it all began, growing up, that part of saying, hey, this is where I first picked up a basketball, country Victoria, to playing against an NBA team, all these years later being an Olympian, like, it's pretty surreal when you say it in a sentence.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't, like, they've been warnable, whatnot, but I haven't really. They're kind of, my daughter's just started playing basketball now. My little fella loves it, but he's kind of a little bit young to kind of get in the aspect of it. But I haven't really taken them around the Warrnambool Stadium and stuff. They're kind of not at that age where they'd really be like,
Hasn't changed?
Yeah, they're no, they're still the same. But they're, I think as they get older, it'll be one of those things that I could possibly do and just get them to understand, like, all they see is the cities that we travel to and the big arenas and stuff. Like, I don't think they would understand the country gyms that we played in over the journey. But yeah, it would be cool for them to actually see that that's the, I guess, journey or process that I took, and everyone's is different.
Yeah, it's funny to think back, and this has to be a camera crew when you go and do that. I think that's going to be awesome to see. Lastly, I do want to ask, little birdie told me that you spend your time away, obviously, with your family, but here in Victoria, you like to fish?
I do.
Is that something now when did that start, and how do you get into that? Is it more of, you know what, this is something that gets me away from the game, I get to be mentally refreshed, and I just really enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's something exactly that you're out on the ocean, it's just you and whoever you're fishing with and the fishing rod, and you're just trying to catch dinner, I guess, and load the freezer up for weeks to come. But it started basically when I moved back to Melbourne. My cousin has a boat, and I've been fortunate enough to get out on the boat with him. Shout out Lee Jones. I'm fortunate enough to get out with him whenever he can, away from work and stuff. And it's something that I do love getting out and doing, just being in nature and just being chilled out. But we do take the kids a lot of the time as well, so it is very eventful as well. So something I can get out and do and refresh, and that between that and camping, it's something that I'll continue to do for a long time.
Is that part of it where you look at the start of the journey, you're like, man, if I had the time, because when you're young, you don't really have the time, and you don't think you have the time because you're so locked in, but finding that balance that it just comes with getting older and being a professional athlete for so long?
Yeah, I think, like you said, when you're younger, there's a process and a journey that you got to take to get better, and I don't think there's shortcuts in kind of anything you do with that. And I guess the hours you spend out of actual team training and stuff, it's still how can I get better at basketball? Whereas now it's like I get in, do my work, know how much my body can respond to doing, and still about trying to get better each and every day. And I can kind of put that into one little segment, and then it's about what can I do to get away from basketball? What can I do with my family to enjoy just the moments? And then I think you find it, you come back more refreshed from basketball when you're a little bit older.
So it's 300 games, it's terrific an achievement, mate. There's still so much left to go because you're playing at such a high level. Good luck for it all. We want to see a lot of success out of you individually. We want to see you playing. I think you can probably play until you're 40. We've seen the DAs, we've seen all these guys do it. You're feeling like that's good enough to do. So good luck. We appreciate it. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.